Did the Eagles win last night? No, they didn't win last night. One of the most frustrating endings and games in recent memory, and there have been a lot of them. Philadelphia Eagles lose 22-21 to the Atlanta Falcons, like I predicted before the season started. Trending the AM Live. We're talking all about it in 60 seconds. A very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on Edge of Philly Sports. We are live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. You know the drill. Hit that like button, that share button, that subscribe button, wherever you're watching. Do what you can to click those buttons, share it out, and use this moment to let's vent, let's get frustrated, let's talk about the Eagles' unfortunate 22-21 loss to the Atlanta Falcons last night on Monday Night Football, a loss that a lot of us did not see coming. Going into the game. It was a very, very frustrating way for the Eagles to disappoint their fans on Nick Foles' retirement last night. It's very hard for us to comprehend how this team is still having the same issues that they had last year. It's very hard for us to comprehend why this Eagles team is so poorly prepared on all different levels of the game. Fundamentals, tackling, getting pressure on the court. How do you let Kirk Cousins, who hasn't won in a primetime situation in about 470 years, march down the field in 30 seconds and score the game-winning touchdown? Beyond belief frustrating at this point. And that it happened the way it did. But we're here to talk about it. We're here to discuss it, the good, the bad, the ugly. Mostly bad and ugly. Not very much good came out of the game. Some comments already rolling. And Giants fans have been watching Saquon drop the touches. Yeah, the Giants fans weren't laughing after week one, but the Giants fans are laughing now at us as, you know, all Saquon Barkley had to do was catch that pass. The game probably ends. The game's probably a win. Everyone's going to blame Jalen Hurts for throwing the interception. It was a bad interception. He played hero ball and all, but that doesn't even happen if Saquon Barkley just catches the ball. That's all he had to do. All he had to do was just catch the ball. He didn't do it, and that is why we're here. Hassan is laughing. Look, the Eagles' defense and their front, it's been a question since day one, and it's still a question. And they cannot get pressure on the quarterback. Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith, anybody. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, all of them. Complete and total letdown last night on defense. Pretty much across the board. The whole entire defense. And I know everyone's going to blame a few select names on the Eagles' defensive line for the problems, but it was a complete and total disaster on the defense. And look, something I spoke about before the season. Everyone was hyped about Vic Fangio taking over the Eagles' defense. But the problem is, I tried to tell everybody, and we love Vic Fangio with the media and how he talks with the media, but I told everybody, Vic Fangio, if you wanted a more aggressive defensive coordinator, you were not getting that with Vic Fangio. He is the epitome of conservative defense, and that's what it was again last night. A very too conservative. I mean, that drive to win the game for the Falcons, playing off receivers 5, 10, 15 yards, just can't happen. shouldn't happen, and it can't happen. And that's what we got. And yes, Hassan might be laughing, but Hassan's bank account's a little lighter than it's been, so I don't know if he's completely laughing. No, I was looking forward to the 8 a.m. I'm here now, Joe. Yeah, we're a little late. I'm in Mexico. I'm on vacation. So, a little slight delayed start to the show today. Tomorrow, Freddie Burns will be filling in as I'm flying home to Philadelphia. And then Thursday, we'll be back to our normal 8 a.m. time slot in the home studio. Don't you worry about that. There's a lot of frustration. A lot of Eagles fans have a lot to get off their chest today. And whoever you want to blame, whether you're watching on any platform, it seems like we're not streaming on Facebook. There seems to be a Facebook error right now on the streaming site. So if you're watching on YouTube or Twitter, get those comments, get those frustrations out right now. Dante, what's up, my man? Can't blame that on Barkley dropping the pass first quarter, 4th and 4, and we passed the ball to Barkley, had 10 yards per run. Yeah, but see, you can't blame Barkley, but you can blame Barkley. You should have run the ball. It was a bad play call to begin with. But, I mean, you got to catch that pass. You're a professional. That was as easy of a catch as there humanly possible was there for him. He's not going to have that much of a gimme, Dante, on a catch ever again. And he went ahead and he fumbled it. And, look, it happens. Dropping a pass, it happens. But if he catches that, the game's over. The game's over. Falcons maybe get the ball back with 30 seconds left. And honestly, if he catches it, maybe we shouldn't say game's over, because maybe, just maybe, the Falcons still score in that situation. So, maybe we can't just fully blame it on Saquon. I think the defense is a much bigger issue than the offense at this point. And I know Jalen Hurts is going to get a lot of flack for throwing that interception late in the game there at the end of the game. And, yeah, he had guys in the flat. He had checkdowns. He didn't do the checkdowns. He didn't do 80% of what there's so much he could have done better on that play. But, again, if Saquon catches that ball, we might not be in that situation. But Jalen's going to get all the criticism, and some of it's rightfully so. Got somebody else joining me here in the comments, maybe, or in the chat? Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody was showing up in the stream there, and I wasn't sure what was going on there. Let's see what we got here. Defense is definitely a bigger issue. The defense, Dante, is a massive issue. Massive. And it's an all-around defensive problem at this point. It's not any one person's to blame. And the entire defense fell apart yesterday. I can't watch this pass rush. Well, what pass rush? There's no pass rush slow-mo that there is to watch, period. A non-existent pass rush. I mean, Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith, the entire defensive line. Nobody could get after the quarterback. Kirk Cousins had all day to throw. I can make up some crazy stat and say, like, Kirk Cousins had, 65 seconds to throw per pass in that backfield there, and it's believable because of how bad it was. It was just that bad. So it is what it is. Huff is a plumber. He ain't a football player. He's not very. I said this when we signed him, that I was concerned about Bryce Huff. That was he a one-hit wonder in New York? And it might be turning out that he is that one-hit wonder. I know it's only 2 weeks, and I know Hassan Reddick struggled for the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, every single year for the last 2 years. But yeah, Huff looks lost. Huff just doesn't look like he's much of anything. What's up, Marshawn? I came here to say Jalen was the MVP of that game last night, even with that pick. No joke. I think Jalen Hurts played a pretty solid game last night, considering A.J. Brown being out, and considering that, what part of the offense A.J. Brown is, missing him. My question is, where was somebody else stepping up? Where was, Johanna Dotson in the offense? I mean, Britton Covey had 6 catches or 5 catches or something like that last night. But somebody, and I think A.J. Brown said something along the lines, he might miss a few games. Well, somebody else has to step up. Somebody else has to step up. Milton Williams had I don't know if I would say a great game, Dante. I don't think there's a single person that you could say had a great game, and definitely not a bad game for Milton Williams, but you can't say great game for anybody. Phil, your boy Hurts with that last decision. What is wrong with that guy? Look, again, if Saquon Barkley catches that pass, Jalen Hurts is not put in that situation. He just isn't. Last night made me think of when the Eagles lost to the Cardinals back in the championship game all those years ago with Donovan McNabb. And Donovan McNabb always got the flack, and Donovan McNabb led the game-winning drive. And then Brian Dawkins got burned by Larry Fitzgerald to score the game-winning touchdown. And then Donovan didn't get with 30 seconds left, didn't lead another game-winning drive. That's kind of how I feel after last night. Jalen Hurts got screwed, basically, in that situation. He's got to be better. Jalen Hurts can't make that decision, Brian. But we shouldn't have been in that situation to begin with. Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore got cute on 3 red zone trips. Absolutely agree with you. Too cute. Just run the damn ball. Saquon shouldn't have dropped that ball because it should have been a run play to begin with. Not taking points earlier in the game. Some of the decision-making from Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore last night was not very good. Brian, a brain rot throw with a 40-yard bomb into double coverage. Look, I said yesterday on this show, you could not play hero ball with Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons out there and their 19 interceptions over the last 2 years. And what did he do? He gave Jesse Bates the opportunity to make the play. I've seen the replay in slow motion. It was as clear as day that Jesse Bates was going to pick that ball off right from the get-go. So it was not good in that situation at all. Brian, that last throw reeks of 23 Jalen, but we lost the game before the pick. Exactly. So it was a bad play. It was a play that we should never have gotten to. It was something that should never have happened to begin with, in my opinion. He needed 15 yards. So absolutely. And I get that. But we should never have been in that position to begin with. Okay? And that, to me, is the biggest issue. Nick Sirianni involved in play calling last night, didn't decide on situational football. Atlanta, no timeouts. You run the ball. Absolutely agree with you. Absolutely agree with you on that. Not a doubt in my mind on that. But I get I get what Brian's saying too, and there's a lot of frustration from a lot of Eagles fans. There are, and rightfully so. Silver lining: if we go 1-3, bye Nicky. I don't know if 1-3 gets bye Nicky, but I did say before the season, y'all criticized me. I said we were going to beat the Green Bay Packers and we were going to lose the Atlanta Falcons. I said that before the season started. Everyone thought I was nuts, and here we are. I had us at 2-2 going into the bye week, and we're sitting here with 2 undefeated teams in the next 2 weeks that are playing good football right now, and it's going to be scary. I tried to tell you guys, Vic Fangio, we love him in the media, but man, let me tell you something. Vic Fangio is not what we're hoping for in a defensive coordinator. He's going to play conservative, passive defense all the time. Phil, that last 3 was a damn punt. What was the sky yards on that throw? I don't know. I don't know. Nick's only job is to manage the game, and he failed miserably. Yeah, I mean, no better blame to go all around. Phil, turn the camera around and let's see the ladies. There's not too many people at the pool, but I could do it. Here you go. Here's my view this morning. There's the pool area. There's the ocean. That's what I'm looking at while you guys are talking, right? Or while you guys are watching me. I get to see the good view. You guys do not get to. Don't get us beating the Saints. Yeah, I had us at 2-2. So it is, I forget. I have to go back and look. I think I had us beating the Saints and losing to the Buccaneers. I think that's what I predicted. The 2023 season is a long one. Look, Matty B, you got plenty of room to criticize the Eagles. You can criticize Nick or Howie Roseman even if you want. Howie Roseman built this defense that cannot get any pressure. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson made some big hits last night, but Chauncey Gardner-Johnson got beat a bunch of times last night as well. Darius Slay got beat last night on plenty of occasions. So there's plenty of blame to go around. I don't have a problem blaming a single person in the Eagles organization after last night's disappointment. How does autocorrect go from throw to 3? Autocorrect is hilariously bad sometimes. I said that the NFC South was a tough division. I predicted the Bucs and the Saints to be good teams. 24 turnovers in 19 games. Howie better be scared. No, stop with that part of it. The Eagles snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. Yeah, man, that's 1,000% accurate right there. 1,000% accurate right there. Big play Slay. Yeah, look, I made a joke a couple weeks ago that Quinyon Mitchell was already last week, that Quinyon Mitchell is already better than Darius Slay. And Quinyon Mitchell, something really annoyed me, guys. And I don't know if you guys saw the video. There's a video circulating after the game on ESPN's website of Darius Slay going up to Drake London. They're laughing and they're high-fiving. And, hey, good route, my man. And it just doesn't sit right with me. When you lose and when you get beat like that, You don't go up after the game and say, good job, guys. You just don't do that. I'm more upset the Phillies laid an egg with Ranger looking worse than Fangio's defense. Honestly, I didn't watch a second of the Phillies game last night. How's my head? Yes. So last night, after the game, I had a lot of tequila. I had a lot of alcohol yesterday. And I went to the bathroom and I banged my head on the door handle in the bathroom and literally blood everywhere. I got a gash. You can't see it on the air, but I got a gash about like a quarter of an inch long on my head right now. It's not bleeding anymore. I can't believe it stopped bleeding, but I have a gigantic ass gash on my head from last night. And yeah, that's what tequila mixed with vodka, mixed with bourbon, mixed with beer, mixed with more tequila. That's what it does to you. Definitely not my brightest moment. I need a quarterback that teams don't stack the box max. The things I would do to get Josh Allen's arm. Look, Josh Allen, I know people love Josh Allen, Brian, but Josh Allen hasn't won jack any either. Jalen Hurts at least has been to a Super Bowl. Phil, how does Howie not look at the quarterback market, though? No funny business. But Carson only lasted 2 years after his extension. And that's fine. And I get that. And that's fair. I do think that's fair. I just don't, outside of the one throw that should never happened, I don't want to put the blame for last night's loss on Jalen Hurts. I have no problem giving criticism when criticism's due. I don't think it was his fault that we lost the game last night. He should have never been in that position to begin with. Quinyon Mitchell gave up that pass to Mooney with his eyes looking in the wrong place. Absolutely. Rookie mistake from Quinyon Mitchell last night. 100% got exposed as a rookie last night. I would go get Matt Stafford right now. I don't know about that. Not making an in-season move or anything like that. Phil, Josh Allen with these weapons, sheesh. What? Hold on a second, Brian. I don't know why we're turning this into Josh Allen talk, but let's be honest. Josh Allen had Stefon Diggs for how long? And he didn't do anything there. So let's pump the brakes on the Josh Allen part there. I'm not putting the blame on Jalen. That defense let up. Dude, the defense last night is 1,000%. If I had a power rank the blame game, it would be the defense as a whole, the entire game. Saquon Barkley dropping that pass, and then the coaching and the decision-making from Nick Sirianni and everybody else, and then Jalen Hurts. That would be the power ranking there for me. That's actually a pretty fair way to say it. You know what else is fair, guys? Our great sponsors on this show, like SherryTickets.com. If you need tickets to a sports event, concert, theater tickets, go to SherryTickets.com. Family owned and operated since 1946. Great prices, no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you pay. Check this out. If you go and use promo code EOP10 at checkout, on top of the great prices, you'll save an additional 10%. So why would you overpay with the rest? Save with the best, SherryTickets.com. See, even on vacation, I do good segues, just so you know. Phil, Diggs is one guy. We have Quan, Barkley, AJ, Devontae, and this O-line. Yeah, okay, sure, fine. Barkley dropped the big pass last night. You know, AJ wasn't there last night. Just saying. So I don't know if we'd be any different if Saquon or if Josh Allen was here. Josh Allen is I'm not trying to make this about Josh Allen not being a good quarterback. Josh Allen's a great quarterback, but I don't think he's that much better or better, period, than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has to be better. He cannot throw those interceptions. He cannot play hero ball. I get all of it. I get it. But you can't put last night's loss on him completely like that. I'm going Nick at 1, coordinators at 2, defense at 3, Barkley 4, Slay and Quinyon 5. Okay, that's fine. I don't know if I'd put Nick over the coordinators or the coordinators over Nick. I have to really think about it a little bit more. Kellen Moore's play calling wasn't perfect last night. How you don't try to get Jahan Dotson involved in the game or Dallas Goedert more involved in the game when you're missing AJ Brown. First and foremost, it just goes to show how important AJ Brown is to this team. That he can that the offense just looks so much different without AJ Brown out there last night. And Vic Fangio. I mean, when you're watching that last drive and every play, and Kirk Cousins made the throws, we didn't get pressure on Kirk Cousins. I get all that. Every single play, there was 10 yards separation between the wide receiver or the ball catcher and the defense. Every single play. And that's on Vic Fangio. And this is what I told you guys when we hired Vic Fangio. Everyone's like, oh, well, we're getting the inventor of the Fangio system. Like, it's not going to be a more aggressive system. We're not going to blitz anymore or anything like that. If anything, I said it was going to be a much more passive offense or defense than we even wanted. Barkley does lead running backs in drops the last 3 seasons. See, and that's a stat I did not know. Brian, I didn't know that before it all started coming out after last night's game. It sucks. It sucks. Risky decision. Fellas, Jalen Hurts is AJ made. Buddy ball saves Hurts a lot. Maybe it is. Jalen Hurts does play the hero ball way too much, and maybe he does get bailed out a little bit at times, for sure. That's very possible. Nick's job is to manage the game, and he was atrocious in 2 scoring drives. Kellen at least called the perfect pass play for Barkley. That's true. And you know what? You can criticize that it should have been a run, but again, all you got to do is catch that ball. And we're having a different conversation this morning. We still would probably be complaining about the defense a little bit this morning. But outside of that, we'd be having a different tone to this show if all Saquon Barkley had to do was catch it. But here's the other thing, and this is talking on the defense here. Even if he catches the ball, even if we get a field goal and the Falcons get the ball back with 30 seconds instead of a minute and 30 seconds, do we think the Eagles defense stops them? No, because the Falcons were easily to march down the field on this defense. It was just not a pleasant situation to watch. Much can be said about the other teams with quarterbacks and wide receiver or tight end combo. Yeah, I mean, nobody says that, anything about Patrick Mahomes, and he's had probably one of the greatest pass-catching tight ends of all time, playing for him. In the past, he had other good weapons. Exactly, Phil. Barkley catch that ball, then the defense only scored 15 points on us. Yeah, all you got to do. I mean, Jalen Hurts marched. I mean, ESPN comes up in Spanish on my phone because I'm in Mexico, so I can't get it. Jalen Hurts led 4 very long scoring drives last night. The Eagles dominated the time of possession last night. The Eagles' offense still was fairly effective last night. It was the defense last night. Jalen Hurts is a male model and motivational speaker impersonating the quarterback. Look, I get it. And you know what? You're rightfully so to be frustrated with Jalen Hurts. You just are. Everybody is rightfully allowed to be disappointed in Jalen Hurts' performance last night. But I think he was one of the least of the problems of the game last night. Catch that ball, then it's game over, and we're talking CJ's 4th down tackle. And it was a huge tackle. But Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's going to get hyped because of that. But also he made a bunch of mistakes last night as well. He got beat on a few plays, and he didn't look right on other plays. So, look, the defense just needed to be better. Just make one stop. Just one stop. One stop. They had no timeouts, and they literally marched down the field in 30 seconds on us. Like, how do you do that? How? I don't understand how to comprehend that. But what I do comprehend is PhillySportsTrips.com, the premier travel organization. If you want to go travel to see your favorite sports team in Philadelphia, go to their website, PhillySportsTrips.com. Sign up, mention EOP and Trending in the AM, whether you want to go to see the Eagles on the road somewhere this year, all these great trips that they have, or whether you want to go to spring training to see the Phillies next year, go to their website. They even have I think this is coming up soon, actually. They have a trip up to Penn State. Check out PhillySportsTrips.com. When you sign up, like I said, make sure you mention EOP. You will not be disappointed. Hurts is on pace for 200 carries. That is not good. He did run the ball a lot last night, and I didn't realize he ran the ball a lot. Watching it here in Cancun, drinking, having a good time, chatting with people at the bar. I couldn't pay close detail attention, but I didn't realize he ran as much as he did till after I saw the box score. Jalen Hurts needs to get us touchdowns in the red zone 2 straight weeks where we didn't finish a touchdown drive, and he's led plenty of touchdown drives as well. I just think we need to pump the brakes on the Jalen Hurts slander today. Again, big mistake, throwing that interception at the end of the game. Not necessary, but I'm not going to blame Jalen Hurts as much for last night. I don't know if I'm frustrated. I've punted the Eagles season already. I'm here for Red October and the Sixers. When Marshawn is ready to talk Sixers, there's problems in the Eagles. All you did was beg for Eagles talk, and now already moving on. Look, no, I predicted 2-2. I predicted this loss. I know yesterday on the show I predicted an Eagles win, but coming into the season, I said 1-1. I said beating Green Bay in Brazil, losing to the Falcons. That was my prediction. It's happened. I said it was going to be a slow start to the season. I said these first 4 games were much harder than people realize, and we were going to struggle, and then come out of the bye. Maybe there's some adjustments made to the team, the coaching, the players, whatever. Howie Roseman, I know you guys are talking about finding a new quarterback, but Howie Roseman better be on the phone trying to find some defensive players. He better be finding a defensive tackle or a defensive end, an edge rusher, anybody that's out there. And no, not Hassan Reddick, but anybody else. You've got to go out there and find somebody to add to this defense. The D philosophy is a ruin. No blitzing corners. And where was Zach Bond? He pressured Jordan Love. Nick Sirianni tried to show masculinity too often. Look, I said this. I said the defense was going to be a problem. And here we are in 2 weeks, and everybody sees it. Till the Sixers do something stupid and break our hearts again. Fair point. It is on Jalen to get us points, but third and four in the first and second pass plays in a row isn't doing him a favor when Saquon. Yeah, absolutely agree. That was the first time Hurts ran like 22. He did run well. Yeah. I cannot wait for the Sixers. I love it. I think it's hilarious. I have no problems with the detachment, Phil. I love it. Game was a carbon copy of the Seattle game. Defense gets smoked, and Jalen throws a boneheaded interception. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment right there. Yes, Brian, Seattle loss was bad. Yeah, what do we got? Is that a Cowboys helmet? I can't tell what that helmet is. Phillies are cooked. Buddy Kennedy and Cal Stevenson is not saving this team. Yeah, I don't know. What we got here? I knew Jalen was going to throw that pick because it was written. It was written in the script. Is that it? All love and respect towards. Look, Jose, I love that somebody's keeping a little bit of positivity this morning. Somebody's got to keep the positivity, right? So good for you for doing that. What's up, Eric? Good morning. Yeah, you don't deserve me. No, we do not. I'm doing it. Today's my 18th wedding anniversary, and I'm here doing this show with you guys right now. My wife's already sitting by the pool. Phillies pitchers are so bad right now. Yeah, I mean, they did just beat the Mets, win the Mets series. So again, that's not as bad either. What's up, Patty Bernard, aka the Gobbler, aka all your other nicknames right there, my man. Send Bryce Puff to the gulag. Yeah, absolutely. Look, Bryce, I said that the second Bryce Huff was signed. I'm like, this guy never played more than 40% of snaps in a season. He never had double-digit sacks before last year. I said, is Bryce Huff a one-hit wonder? Is he like a band that has one big hit and then falls apart? Is he the Wonders and the Oneaters? And 2 weeks so far, we're seeing maybe he is. Loved, so you don't love him anymore? Past tense there? Gracias. Thank you very much, Eric. Baseball is such a game to game that I can't tell what is consistent pitching. That is fair. Guys, if you need a place to watch any games, playoffs for baseball, Eagles games, make sure you check out Dolan's Bar in Ridley Park. DolansBar.com, 24 East Sellers Avenue in Ridley Park. Great food, great times. Go in there. Tell PJ you heard about him right here on Trending in the AM on Edge of Philly Sports. For 65 plus years, this place has been doing it the right way. So make sure you guys check them out. Find them on social media. Find them online. You won't be disappointed. And guys, make sure you're hitting that like button, that subscribe button, that share button. There's a problem with Facebook, so we're not getting any Facebook love this morning. I'm not sure what the connection is there. Happy end. Thank you very much, Barbara. Tomorrow there'll be no show. Well, no, there'll be a show. Freddie Burns will be filling in for me tomorrow morning at more of a regular time. Fly home tomorrow. But, yeah, absolutely. Eagles media were goo-goo gog over Huff when we signed him. I was not. I questioned it from day one. And, yeah, no Devin White last night. I would have liked to have seen everybody talked about Devin White maybe playing on the outside. Maybe he can get some pressure after quarterback. He was a healthy scratch last night, which I don't like to see. That's a big mistake, in my opinion, Brian. I have a call at 11, but Phil, thanks for the streaming. Hey, I appreciate it. I'm sick because I banged my head. I'm sick because I drank too much. I'm sick because I had too much sun. But I'm sick more because of that Eagles game. So thank you. Thank you. Love them all. Hey, I love it. Don't get the Devin White treatment. We need his tackling. Maddox over Rodgers is also questionable. Yeah, Vontae Maddox played a lot more than I expected last night. And look, the whole defense was bad. So you can point the finger wherever you want on this team, especially on the defensive side of the football. But when you're pointing fingers, if you get the finger pointed at you and it's not right, you need a good lawyer. So call the best lawyer in the state of Pennsylvania, whether you need a workers' compensation lawyer, if you've been in a motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or criminal law. Call David R. Cherry, the Cherry Law Firm at 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com and let David R. Cherry fight for you and get you what you deserve. Again, his number is 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. There's my Cherry ad read for the day right there, guys. I like and appreciate this content. I appreciate it, Jose. We do this normally every day at 8 a.m. for 90 minutes every day. I'm on vacation right now, so we're just winging it on vacation. I'm not going 90 minutes. I probably won't even hit an hour today, but this is what we do every day. I want to see Cooper DeJean played one snap on defense last night. One snap. You need intensity on this defense. You need tackling. You need so much. Put Cooper DeJean out there. More. Please. You got to. This defense, the way they played last night, Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara are going to tear us apart on Sunday. Give Cooper DeJean and Devin White some time next week. I thought Kellen utilized tight ends in his offense. Yeah, Dallas Goedert's done nothing. Is it maybe time to say that maybe Dallas Goedert is an overrated tight end? Something I've hinted at in the past. But when you got no A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert still can't get involved, that's no good. What's more of a concern, Eagles D or the Phillies pitching? The Eagles defense. I think the Phillies pitching is still pretty solid once we get to the playoffs. I think Zach Wheeler, Christopher Sanchez, and Aaron Nola will be fine. Ranger Suarez concerns me a little bit, but that's it. The Eagles defense is massively more concerning in my opinion. Thank you very much, Jose. I appreciate that. We had to get the cherry ad read even though Mist is not here. I'm seeing where the Dolphins player now saying why they think Fangio wasn't using the personnel right. Guys, I question Vic Fangio. I question Bryce Huff. I question a lot. I was told I was negative. I try to be positive. But, man, you're starting to see why I had concerns with some of these decision-makings in the offseason. And whose decision was it to bring in Vic Fangio? We all criticize Nick Sirianni for some of his coordinator decisions. But was it Howie Roseman making those decisions? Maybe Howie Roseman's a little bit more to blame than some people are willing to give. And, look, Howie Roseman's still an excellent GM. I'm not trying to say we need to fire him or anything. But he's made some questionable decisions already. New Orleans 40, Eagles 17. I'm not ready to make a prediction just yet, at all. But the New Orleans is putting up a lot of offense early on with Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara looking like he's a rookie again out there for sure. Yep. I want to see the young secondary now. Also, Georgia Bulldogs are all on bust watch. That includes Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter's playing too many snaps, Marshawn. There is no reason for Jalen Carter to be out there 75, 80% of snaps every game. It's not. You're burned out by the end of the game. Jalen Hurts and Dallas Goedert have not connected since the sideline fight in the playoff game. DG used to be his number one option. It's an interesting point. Maybe Dallas Goedert's just a little overrated. He doesn't get separation. He doesn't get open. He doesn't find the soft spots in the defense, which is what a tight end should be a quarterback's best friend, their safety blanket, their security blanket. And he's just not doing it right now. You were right about not kicking the field goal in the first quarter. Cost them the game. Absolutely. Jalen Carter was getting swallowed by Chris Lindstrom. He is an all-pro right guard. Yeah. I wanted the DC that the 49ers fired. Fangio was, look, that's just because they wanted Fangio all along and they never got him. So they just brought him in. I mean, Fangio said, he probably would have been here a year sooner if that whole thing with the Cardinals didn't happen. So, yeah. Are we surprised? I'm not surprised because a lot of the concerns I had and predicted have already come true in 2 weeks. So, look, it still feels empty, though. Yeah. Look, there are a lot of problems. I get it. Still early in the season, though. So for the Eagles fans that are ready to punt on the season, the Eagles fans that have given up, we are 2 weeks into a season, and there's only 4 undefeated teams. There's very few undefeated teams left already. And there's a lot of bad football. I mean, the Eagles, the biggest thing here, and this might come off negative, and it should come off negative, the Eagles had an opportunity to distance themselves from the Lions, the Cowboys, and the 49ers, who all lost this weekend. I mean, we just lost to a Falcons team that a lot of people predicted to win the division. 49ers lost to the Vikings, okay? Let's not forget about that. So while it is going bad right now, there are a lot of teams that are struggling right now. There are a lot of bad football being played right now around the NFL. It is not just the Eagles. So, you can pump the brakes. You can be frustrated, be pissed off, hope for them to be better, but understand we are not the only team that is struggling right now. Our worst staff signing was Clint Hunt. Seahawks said he was going to make our D-line regress. I do remember someone saying that, actually. It might have. How do you find the motivation to watch the Eagles? Because it's my job to do it for this. That big part of it. I've given up on Jalen Hurts. He has not changed at all. I think Jalen Hurts was fine last night, so I disagree. Clint Hurt hasn't done anything with Davis and Carter. I would keep Milton Williams over Davis. What the hell did I just do there? Davis and Carter play bad. No doubt about it, my man. Why would the Eagles go for the blitz for the win? There was no blitzing at all. I would love to see the percentage snaps on how many times they actually tried to blitz. Let me tell you something. It probably wasn't that much. Jalen Hurts used to be so promising when he was focused solely on football. Now, buddy, oh, stop. It has nothing to do with him being engaged now. Now we get to complain about losing the same exact way all season long for the 3 seasons in a row with the same exact defensive scheme. It's the inventor of the defensive scheme that we hated. You know what I mean? All of a sudden that was supposed to be better. It's not. Not good enough. Please, guys, please hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it. The one sack came on a blitz, I think. Did it? It was Milton Williams had that sack, right? Death by a million dinks and dunks. Yeah. Seems about a fair way to describe it right there, Eric, for sure. No, David Archer's not here. I need a lawyer because of that. The bump on my head right now. Boy, it's a little bruising and lumpy, and man, kick the effing field goal. Absolutely, Steve. Run the ball, kick the field goal. Don't play hero ball. Just play defense. I mean, simple. Same thing happened to Carson and Russ. Family life does take priority, but I can't ding it. Yeah, and don't. There's no blaming him getting engaged on any of the problems. He is who he is. Jalen Hurts is a very good quarterback in the NFL. He just might not be elite, but there's a lot worse quarterback situations in the NFL. I would take Jalen Hurts over dozens of teams' situations right now around the NFL. That's just my humble opinion at this point. No reason to jump the shark. No reason to jump the gun just yet. It is a long season, and we're only 2 weeks into it. And I tried to warn y'all. All offseason, once the schedule is released, that the start of the schedule is a problem. The start of the schedule was a lot more difficult than people realized. Eagles fans want the team to be normal, run the ball when you're chewing. They controlled the clock. They won the time of possession last night. All I have to say is that the Eagles might win 4 games, like Cataldi and Cilio said. Well, don't bring up Dan Sillyman on this show. So the tendencies by the coaches might fulfill these men's predictions. Coaching. And it's not just getting pressure on the quarterback that we're not doing. We're not creating turnovers on defense either. No interceptions, no fumbles, nothing like that. When was the blitz? Where was the blitz? Where was the blitz ever? When you have Vic Fangio, I'm telling you, Vic Fangio is the one that invents conservative defense. I've been saying it since the day he was hired. I'm like, no, you got to go a different route. But no, they stuck to the system that they've wanted all along. And that's why, Steve, we're in the situation we're in where we're frustrated already. I sometimes, I love to say I'm right sometimes, but sometimes I hate being right. And I hate being right this time. I do. This was a winnable game in a week that this is what frustrates me more than anything, Steve, that you had the opportunity to go up 2-0 when the Niners, Lions, and Cowboys are all 1-1. You had an opportunity. And you let this one slip away. All you had to do was make one stop on that last defensive drive, and you would have been 2-0, and while everyone else was 1-1. It's so frustrating. It is so frustrating that this statement is accurate, and I hate it. Yeah, we just don't mention Dan. We don't say his name. We just say silly man. If you say silly man, I know who you're talking about. Defense can't catch or track the ball. How many times we force a fumble and they recover? I don't think have we even had a turnover this year? I don't even know. We don't get after the quarterback. We don't create turnovers. We don't. I know everybody wants to blame Jalen Hurts or blame Saquon Barkley, but this loss is on the defense. This loss is on the defense 100%. And I said it again. I just don't like the vibe from the defense. After the game, Darius Slay hanging out and buddy with Drake London, like, good route, man. High-fiving. Be pissed that you gave up the game-winning touchdown. Be pissed that you got beat. Don't be best friends with Drake London after that happens. I don't think that matters because we obviously are not on those teams. Well, those teams aren't on that level either. Those teams lost. The 49ers lost to the freaking Minnesota Vikings. Brian, but what does that say about them? Say his name and he appears. What, me? Yeah. I don't believe in him right now. Seth Joyner destroyed this team yesterday, and no lies were detected. Look, if I'm Seth Joyner, I'm pissed off. If I'm Seth Joyner, I'm calling out and be like, yo, bring me in. I'll fix this defense in a heartbeat. Howie Roseman better be out there looking, not waiting, looking now to find additions to this team. And I just don't know where. Offense also looked pedestrian without – I think yesterday really showed how important A.J. Brown is to this team. And I said this on the show yesterday, Steve, about how this was going to go with no A.J. Brown and how he opens up space for Devontae Smith, where he opens up space for running, where he does so much. But they still should have won the game. They still moved the football. They still had 4 very long scoring drives. It just needed to be better. 32nd ranked defense, Phil. We are not going anywhere. And that's fair. The defense is bad. The defense is bad. We lost this game because of the defense, Brian. 100%. This is not Jalen Hurts' fault. The coaches, Jalen Hurts, Saquon, Barkley, all have blame, but this is not their fault. They're blamed. They didn't have good games, but the defense is to blame for last night. And I just can't get over it that I spent an entire night on my vacation doing that and dealing with that game last night. It's so frustrating. Defense is worse than last year. It's actually massively worse, Brian, than last year. And it's sad to see. And it's frustrating to see that the defense went out there and stunk up the boat the way they did. Massively frustrating the way it went last night. And Seth would fix the linebacker core. Look, I don't want to get into the Seth Joyner conversation too deep today, but Seth Joyner's never been a defense coordinator. He's never been a coach. There's a reason why he just likes to pretend like he wants to coach. So I don't know if he would fix anything, but something's got to. I can't believe I'm already saying it, that you got to fire Vic Fangio and it's only 2 weeks, but it's exactly how I predicted it would play out. I did like how Saquon took ownership of the loss. Yeah, that's good. That is good, for sure. Where's Jelix Hunt? Was he inactive again last night? We can't get pressure on a quarterback. You got a young, new defensive end that you drafted, and I know he's young and he's a rookie, but why aren't you going to go give him a shot? You got to do something. You already, after 2 weeks, have to mix it up. So Devin White better be active next week, and so should Jelix Hunt, and they both should be on the field. And I'm going to put Cooper DeJean out there a lot more than 1 snap next. How does Cooper DeJean go from 6 snaps in week 1 to 1 snap in week 2? Even when Nick Sirianni said, yeah, Cooper DeJean's been putting a lot of good practices together. How do you make that decision? Who made that call? If we fire Nick, I bet we'd be better off. I disagree. If you fire Nick, you're going to promote Kellen Moore. The offense is going to be exactly the same under Kellen Moore, with or without Nick Sirianni. So I don't know if firing Nick Sirianni is the answer you think it is going to be, Brian. I just don't. I don't think it is. But we've got to get back to work. And it's just Monday Night Football, so we have a short week this week. So you've got to get out there. You've got to make quick adjustments to what we're doing. And I don't know what the answers are, but let me tell you something. Last night was massively disappointing. Massively disappointing, Philadelphia Eagles fans, Eagles Nation. Massively disappointing. Please, guys, if you're watching this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe and follow button, hit the share button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Click any of the links down below in this video and subscribe and follow on all the links below. I'd greatly appreciate it. We're going to start the wrap-up process a little early today. We went about 45 minutes so far. I'm in Mexico. I want to shower. I got to go make dinner reservations. I don't even know what time it is right now. It's 10 o'clock right now. Got to make dinner reservations for my anniversary tonight. I got to get my shuttle to the airport for tomorrow booked. So I got some things to take care of today. I just believe that Nick Sirianni lost the locker room last year. Yeah, I mean, what's the quote, Brian? I saw somebody say that no coaches after the game spoke to the locker room, that Jalen Hurts did the speaking after the game. Like, how do your coaches not speak after a game after you get beat like that? Like, that's confusing to me. That's bothersome to me. Big time bothersome right there. But it is what it is. So I think I'm going to wrap the show up there. I'm done being frustrated about the Eagles. I'll be back to being frustrated on Thursday when we're live at our regular time, 8 a.m. That's when I'll get back to it. But, guys, with that being said, I am Phil Stiefel, your host. This is Trending in the AM right here on Edge of Philly Sports. Have a great day. I still will say ring the bell. I will still say go Birds, and bubbles up to y'all.